My name is Ayla Cortez. I teach high school biology. I also teach anatomy and physiology, but in the past I've taught IB biology at Lincoln. I started teaching at Lincoln 3 years ago, so this is my third year here. What really made me want to teach here is actually Lincoln College Preparatory Academy was one of the first schools that I saw in Kansas City when I moved to Kansas City. So I went to college at Park University, and we got to tour schools, and I wanted to tour Lincoln. And I remember coming through this school as like being a freshman, like college student, and just being like so impressed with like the students that were here, and like so impressed at the level of academic rigor that like part of me always wanted to like end up at Lincoln. My favorite thing about teaching is probably just interacting with the students. I mean, like, let's be real, y'all be really funny sometimes. Probably just like the same that a lot of people experience with like being a student is like time management, because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist about things, so I have a hard time letting stuff go and managing my time. So I end up spending way too long like creating your guides' assignments or notes or making sure that like everything's like organized. So trying to like cut back on that and find better ways to do that. I really enjoy working at Lincoln. One of the most important things for me is like the other teachers here that I work with. All of us work really well together. They're really respectful. I feel like they help me be a better teacher, especially the teachers in my department, like in the science department. I get along with them really well, and they help me out a lot, and it makes my job so much easier. If you've ever taught somewhere where you don't always get along with the people in the department, or they can be like catty and clicky, more like high schoolers than teachers, it's just great to be somewhere where you feel appreciated and you feel supported by the people around you. Interesting facts. Oh, you know how when you're a kid, like they always tell you like, hey, don't lean back in your chair because you're gonna crack your head open? I did that. So like I leaned back in like, what was it? Like a bar stool that my cousin had in her basement. And like I was holding on to like a rail, and my cousin was talking to me, and she threw me something, and I caught it, and I fell back, cracked like the back of my skull. The chair came up, it hit the ground, it bounced, came up and hit me in the mouth, and like knocked, like, you see I have one tooth, it's a little discolored, came out completely. So they had to like take that tooth, shove it back in, and then they had to cement it into place. And I moved schools at the time, so I had this giant cement thing on my mouth like this. And then on top of that, I eventually had to have surgery. So I have like a metal bar that goes all the way from like the top of my palate through this tooth to hold it in place. So don't do that. Like you always think like, I'll be fine. Nah. Yeah, I actually wanted to be a teacher since I was like in the 3rd grade. So I graduated from Park University, which is just like north of the river. I am originally from a small town called Clever, Missouri. Like, you are so smart, you're so clever. It's down by Branson. My daily routine, wake up at like 5:30 and regret that I have to wake up at 5:30, but this is the career I chose for myself. Then I drink coffee and I stare into space for a little bit, and then eventually I get like my mind right, my mood right. I try to get my mood fixed by the time I get here because I'm not a morning person. I would love to be a morning person. I like genie in a bottle, like what could you be? A morning person. I would pick that, but I'm not. Then I come here, teach you guys. I have like all my classes through the day, usually prepared for it. Pretty good days most days. And then I have a plan last hour. Then I usually hang out around like an hour to 2 hours after school, try to get like work done. Fridays, hang out for Dungeons and Dragons with those kids. It's pretty a fun club if you want to be creative and hang out with people. Great place to be on Friday afternoons. And then go home, have dinner with my family, get to hang out with my son, put him in bed, and then eventually trying to make myself go to bed, but then I end up watching too much 90 Day Fiancé, and then I do go to bed too late, and then I do it all again the next day. Just to enjoy it. We get really fixated on like grades and how well we're doing and like where we see ourselves compared to other people, but I would just say enjoy this experience. Like, this is a time in your life where you're like not being charged things for an education. You're having a free education. You have teachers who are invested in you. You have a space in which you can have like friends, you can explore your interests, you can join clubs, you can do sports. It's a really fun time. Just like enjoy it and try to like not stress that much. Like everything seems really permanent right now, and like every small downgrade seems kind of like a defeat, but it doesn't always have to be that way. Like people ask me and they're like, what was your GPA in high school? And it's like, I don't remember. I don't remember what I graduated. I know it wasn't first though, because I didn't qualify for the top 10 scholarships because my school they didn't weight their GPAs. That was very aggravating for me. But like, just enjoy it. Like it's super fun. Like high school is a fun time, and then get ready for college because it'll be super fun too, but it's gonna be fun in a completely different way. Do I have a favorite meal? So like Sol, sun, solar system. So students, this year has been a really tough and long year. You've been doing a great job with everything that's going on and just hanging in there and managing to manage, so keep hanging in there.